Are we here? Can you guys see me? Hey, it's Michelle, the creator and inventor of Unicorn SPiT, and I've been taking the last, I guess, maybe 3 years since the pandemic on remodeling my house and doing everything that I possibly can in Unicorn SPiT. So far, I've done the kitchen cabinets, I've done the hardwood floors, I've done our staircase railing and banisters, some concrete, some glass sinks, a shower panel. Oh my gosh, that turned out amazing when we remodeled the shower. But as you remember last year, oh, look, I got some stuff on me. Listen, I'm getting dirty today, okay? 3 years ago, I did the privacy fence. Remember, they had to take down the privacy fence and put it back up whenever I had to level our yard. We had to build a retaining wall back here. So they had to rip out the entire fence and put it back in. So it's a little rickety because I couldn't afford to get a whole new fence too on top of it. But I wanted you to see what it looks like now after 3 years being stained with Unicorn SPiT. And again, it's rickety because they took it down and had to put it back up, and it was a nightmare. Anyway, so here we go. So here it is 3 years later. You can see that they had to take a panel out here. And then, oh my gosh, this thing has been pulled apart and nailed back together 500 freaking times so far. It was sitting in a big pile right there where you see the dead spot is, and I'm trying to grow grass. But they put it back in, and here's what we come up with. Now, this is facing north, so it is shaded, like pretty much continuously except for the afternoon sun at the sunset. And whenever I had stained it, it was too blazing, it was too bright, so I power washed it all off. When I power washed it, it brought the tone down, but the color didn't go away, didn't go completely away. And then I stained around it using the dark brown. And then I muted it using a brown stain, like a translucent brown stain, because I didn't want the HOA to freak out. But you can see that where I did my highlights is still great. The midnight blackness, I came back and did some detail work. It has not faded at all. This is the Navajo Jewel. I believe here was Zia. So the Zia does lose its blue, as you can see, but it does turn like a white. So if you cast it over a blue, it's going to maintain that pretty Zia color. So this is the Navajo Jewel. This dark blue is the Blue Thunder. And of course, that was done, I think I did like maybe 10 parts water, I believe is our concoction that we did. And then this is the Artistic Vivations, which is my other line of mediums that I make before they become Unicorn SPiT. This is my original metallics. They didn't come off at all. And I really wish that I could get flash because it actually still sparkles. It's really, really interesting. But the whole thing has done so good. And I can't believe that it's been torn apart, put back together, and, you know, the wood is in bad shape. Now, above it, this dark is Sherwin, or I'm sorry, Valspar semi-translucent stain. And I can say that it faded just as much as the Unicorn SPiT, especially considering that I power washed it down so that it wouldn't be so strong. Because if you see here, I'm coming back and re-adding the Valspar. I got another thing of that because I don't have any other browns to mix it. But you can see the major amount of, oh, those are done, sorry. The major amount of fading it got. So this is what it looks like now. And you can see it's pretty faded. It looks pretty crazy. And then here's the dark one. This is what it was. So you can definitely see that this took just as much fading as the Unicorn SPiT took. Because again, this looks identical to what it looked like, but it was more pronounced back then like it is here because I've been repronouncing it and it's making it brighter. Now, I did notice that the Zia, the green stayed okay, but I think I'm going to come back. Again, I power washed it, so it was a dumb mistake. I should never have power washed it. I should just went with my gut. The yellow never changed. The sparkling, you won't believe this. This is the Violet Vulture, and it still glitters. I did that for his plume. I'm gonna come back and do these with the artistic, or with the Unicorn SPiT metallics. and see how they work there, and go for another 3 years. But I think it just looked so nice when it was done. And then it wasn't but a year later they had to tear it all down because our backyard flooded, and we had to, the whole house shifted, and we lost 2 bathrooms, we lost everything. So we still got to redo our deck, but that'll be a couple of years. But this thing has lasted, and I just can't figure it out. I mean, it's just amazing that it faded just equal to the, you know, the stuff that you buy pre-mixed that's very expensive. And again, I mixed 1 part unicorn spit to 10 parts water, and we did it all up, and it was so bright. We power washed it because I didn't want to look like a lunatic. And then I went over it with the black, and then I was like, okay, well, I'm going to go over it with some more of the Zia to give it those highlights. And then I just sprayed the whole thing with a water-based sealer that was tinted, and it toned it way down. So I honestly think that it's the same color, minus the green. You don't see hardly any of the green anymore. So I'm gonna come back and add that in. But I'm pretty sure it's identical. But 3 years update. So it didn't fade hardly at all. So you see that midnight blackness, I outlined it, and it doesn't seem to have fade one bit. And this color is supposed to be darker, as you can see. It hides it everywhere else. So anyway, if you guys were thinking about doing a mural on a fence like this, you can use water-based stain as long as the wood has no pre-existing or water-based clear coat. As long as the wood doesn't have any pre-existing stains or anything like that on there. Like an oil-based one, because it's going to make it, you know, reject it. However, this was pine, just brand new lumber pine that I stained, and I risked it all and sprayed it with the water base because I really felt confident, and it works. There is no, you don't have to do it. Now, I would power wash one if you have one now, get it back to that natural cedar or natural wood shape or coloring that it is. Let it dry out for a couple of days so that it's real thirsty. And then you can stain it, and then you can use a water-based, and it's amazing. So I used 1 part unicorn spit to 10 parts water, and then just did it, and it was so easy. It was so easy. I made like 180 ounces of stain with 1 bottle of unicorn spit, and I had a lot left over. It was really interesting. We tried the airbrush. We did all kinds of stuff. You can go back and watch those videos. But all right, guys. Well, I'm going to get back to work. I just wanted everyone to see it before I went straight to work on it. But you can definitely tell that this is a lot of color left. And yes, I am going to come back and add some more. I'm thinking that, again, the power washing was a big mistake. I shouldn't have done it. I should have left it bright like that. What was I thinking? Always trying to conform to the norm. I'm out of it. I'm not doing it anymore. All right, guys. Love you so. And until I see you again, be good, be blessed, and always let your creativeness flow, even on your fence. Bye.